the one highly inconsistent as we saw today, and the only team that's really the gatekeeper to those up-and-coming teams is definitely BTG, right? So TeamNut, if they pull up an A-Team in those playoffs, they can definitely beat anyone.
Well then, let's head into game number 2. We're going to be on the Sky Temple. This is a very good Illidan map, so I expect we will almost certainly see that banned out.
Yeah, and it's just such a common theme as well. Whenever teams play against the A-Team, they just ban out the Illidan because that is Bruiser's ace card. Whenever he pulls that one out, it usually goes very well for them. To be honest, though, the way TeamNut just dominated... Okay, never mind. I almost would have said that, you know, they don't even have to ban it, but better be safe than sorry. At this point, when you're so close to getting your first 3-pointer in there, don't get lucky punched by the Illidan.
Yeah, we already know Bruiser can do it. It's like one of his go-to heroes. Just remove it. It's a good map for him.
Yeah.
Play it safe. And a very quick Zeratul coming out for TeamNut.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, looks like they're up to something here with that Zeratul. Could be, you know, a good old Wombo style with something like Jaina as a follow-up. But Zeratul, as we've seen previously, when BTG busted him out, you can just play standardly without Wombo combo, and VP is still going to be a great tool to isolate people, to keep people at bay.
See Deckard Muradin, very standard stuff for the moment. Not so bad.
Mm-hmm.
So now then, with Zeratul already on the board, what do we see else to combo with him? Mayev's taken away. So's Diablo. We could see the return of Jaina to get a little bit of perhaps Ring of Frost combo, a classic from the days.
Yep, I definitely wouldn't hate it. Like, Jaina has actually disappeared for the most part, and China was, especially last phase and the early stages of 2018, was probably the one region in the world that, you know, brought her up every single time, regardless of the draft, regardless of what the enemy team had. They just love their Jaina, but up to now, she's basically stuck in BFA. Can't seem to make it to HOTS.
See what he did there? As we see a Nubarak banned away. So maybe they do plan the Jaina, but from the A-Team this time. As that could be a hit, as a Nubarak is a hero who can dive her pretty effectively.
Nubarak, man, that hero put up quite the fight there last time. The cocoons, the timing was so good. Always seemed to have found that opening. And then, of course, once the cocoon lands and you have the follow-up CC, that target is almost always going to fall. Now, what did they ban? Probably an assassin, to be honest. They have the Raynor and Zeratul already. Okay. I mean, maybe it's one of those last resort picks that the A-Team have been practicing with.
Maybe, but it's not usual.
No.
Obviously.
Weird.
Weird indeed. I mean, I don't know how often they play the Valor, and my stat website does not have the stats for that, thanks. So I can't tell you. Gonna bring out the Alarak and the Blaze here, hiding their ranged, whatever it's gonna be.
Shout out, by the way, at this point, it just randomly occurred to me, to our production team in China. The clean feed is working like a charm today. I don't think we've even had to resync once, right?
I had to do it after a break, but that's because while I was downstairs, I was loading up the stream to see how much time I had, and that was 2 streams at once and caused a little bit of lag, but that was just a quick restart.
Hey, he's back again, ladies and gentlemen. My boy!
What a comp! What a comp! Abatha, Varian, Dahaka, Raider, Zeratul. That is awesome.
All right, full-blown aggression here. TeamNut. There's a lot on the line here for them. They really want those 3 points, and they put all their hopes into the Varian basket.
Neat. Sure, why not? As we see the Tychus coming in here, there's not a huge amount of tanky heroes, so I guess doing that percentage damage might get a good value, and he's also very resistant to Zeratul burst once he gets that Neosteel plating online. This could work.
Tetrad, no support Abathur with Varian. This has to be a DPS Varian. There's no other...
Does it? I mean, just burst damage. Like, maybe just take the Q damage on level 7 and just commit.
Oh, man. Taking a page of methods books here at the what was it, mid-season brawl, or was it Western Clash where they played this no support Valera Abathur style? I think it was mid-season brawl.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, there were supportless comps at Western Clash as well.
Yeah. I mean, no support at this point is perfectly viable. Many teams have actually executed these kinds of strategies quite flawlessly. Granite Gaming, for example, to mention in Europe when they played Samuro. Pretty cool to see. However, it's still awkward, especially when Varian is one of your heroes. We are not really used to seeing that with him.
I mean, we're not used to seeing this. Full stop. But I am excited to do so. As we await to head into the Sky Temple, let's do a quick global check, as we always do on this map. This is immediately Dahaka springs to mind for TeamNut. The A-Team don't really have an answer.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing they have is bunker, right?
Sorry.
Against all that damage onslaught, the bunker could maybe work wonders. But if they get caught on the wrong foot here, at any given point in the game, I think they're just going to get absolutely demolished and collapsed on by Zeratul, Varian, Raynor, Dahaka. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to introduce the teams yet again. TeamNut leading 1-0 with Mercia, Tui, Malthael, Nightmare, and Dia.
And on the right-hand side, it is the A-Team with LK, Olele, Bruiser, Stugos, and Yeetskook. And that is a Shield Blaze coming in here. We're already getting a little weird.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when Blaze came out a few months ago. Actually, it's quite a long time ago now, if I think about it. That when I first played the hero, first time ever, I thought that was the best talent. I thought like the shields were the way to go, looking really solid. You know, you're unkillable in lane, but of course then came the other talents and the meta refined. So, but yeah, I think it's usually just you know, means of first protection. They're really scared of getting popped to pieces here with that taunt.
And as they should be, quite frankly.
Yeah.
This could be pretty rough. That taunt could kill them if it is even the taunt. Colossus Smash could kill them.
True.
Although, it does give Varian a very good reason to go for the Shield Burst talent, as now there's two different types of shielding, but the anti-healing's still probably going to be more value.
Yeah, the anti-healing, of course, could be insane. I mean, against Blaze, for example, like you could argue, okay, what is going to give me more value? The Shield Breaker, aka Shattering Crow. Right, that's going to be nice, but the shield doesn't always have to be there in the first place. And also, look at the flames, look at the oil spill. Blaze is probably going to get more health back from healing in those flames, so Oil Strike ultimately will net me more value.
DF just chilling. Both of these heroes just soaking experience, trying to prevent any damage going onto their towers for the moment. A slow start to the game, but Abathur, it takes a really long time for him to get online. I'm kind of curious that he went for the regenerating shield build as opposed to even a burst shield against a triple melee, but the burst heal with the spike burst build.
All right, so mercenary camp getting taken by both teams here. The siege shines that us. It's Kook not really going on an aggressive chase here after that Zeratul. And Abathur, of course, has a couple of talents that could be super nice on this map. Most importantly, we have to talk about the mule here. Double stun, just dealing a little bit of damage onto Mercy, but he ain't scared. He knows exactly that Abathur can jump on him in a given moment.
So he backs up, staying alive, staying fine for the moment. And comes a little bit more pressure. Quick clean up there. As both teams grabbing those bruiser camps, not even timing them, just very quickly. It is taunt, nice and standard. Sticking with that here, they want that lockdown, which is fair, I guess. Otherwise, they would be so reliant on Dahaka, it would be scary. Oh! Around the wall, gaining the damage. Mercy's dropping them. Dahaka comes in with Zeratul going down, though. This is backfiring terribly. As cool as it was, they get Stugos, though. But Nightmare's too low. Dia's too low. They are having to back up, and Dia takes the fourth shot. Telekinesis. And the A-Team massacres TeamNut.
Wow, okay, talking about reckless plays here. Actually, we had Zeratul jumping in with a blink, providing vision, and when Varian then uses the charge, he will actually slide around the wall and swerve right into the enemy team. So that was a cool thought process, right? As in terms to gap closing the distance. But then again, of course, when you don't have a support early on, and Decker Kane provides those potions to his allies, and it's gonna backfire.
That was certainly unexpected, but it definitely did the job. Nice execution, the A-Team. Sorry, didn't jump for the A-Team, able to bring that back there. As they are finally going to get a counter kill, though, making
Nice.
use of their composition, able to pick up a nice kill there.
Yeah, stealing a couple of those laser shots away from the middle. That is certainly much appreciated. Now, level 7 isn't here yet, which means all the damage dealt to those towers and forts can be healed up to this point. Now, Varian in the back, but Dedrick K in the focus target. Taunt is good. Here comes the focus damage from Mercy as well, but it's getting bullied and pretty much forced to retreat.
Yeah, this comp seems to work on isolated targets, not so much in a standard team fight yet. You don't have Evo yet, so as such, another kill, full level lead for the A-Team.
And also, I feel like that, you know, without the addition of Raynor or some additional form of damage, as you said, this is not going to work against A-Team when they're grouped up together. Because Raynor has been busy kind of holding the lane against that double onslaught from the Alrek and the Muradin. So, still though, not too bad of a result in terms of overall experience because of Abathur being a masterful soaker.
Wow, this is already such a good start with Mercy chilling around the area. Mule is going to gain some value here. And actually, nice use of the mines there by Abathur. Immediately, Blaze just attacks them, which revealed them in this bush. They're going to try and burn this down. Mule survives for the moment. Is anyone going to come and deal with this? No, they're just going to let this happen.
Yeah, I don't think they could have made it back in time anyway, so they're stealing a mercenary camp on the opposing side of the map. They're trying to get a little bit of structural damage done to the bottom, which is also where the next temple is going to spawn at. So, TeamNut, man, although they had an explosive start, they didn't have a good one, right? Because they overdid it a little bit here. They went a little bit too overzealous. But maybe they can find that opening before level 10 hits for their opponents, because guess what, Tetra? It's only going to get worse from there when the bunker goes online.
This is true. Well then, with Nightmare still alive for the moment, Mule once again just repairing any structure you can. Just get any kind of sustain as quick as possible.
Okay. TeamNut, they're trying to find those rotations. They're trying to find targets while rotating. Unfortunately, the A-Team, they do exactly what they're supposed to do against a composition like that. They stay together. They do not show themselves too much isolatedly, and they go for that massively greedy play. Right under their opponent's noses, they're trying to steal that boss. Is there really anything the Nut team can do? I don't think so.
They're not. If they did have something they could do, they're not trying it. As they back up, they don't have level 10, so they're choosing to let this go. Very sensibly here.
Let's see what this boss can do. Muradin, by the way, holding his heroic ability, not showing us whether he wants to go Haymaker, Playmaker, or for the standard Avatar. I could actually see the Playmaker come into play here, but nope. Stays with the good old Avatar.
And so, with the boss pushing in, Temple already taking a couple shots, but it looks like they're going to push in manually first. They are looking for Malthael. How long can Malthael survive? Silence already applied. He's just, stun locks for days. Odin popped as well. Big commitment on the push here. And the A-Team are just kind of wrecking this. Pushing in more and more each time, even using the bunker for a bit of extra damage. And they are moving in for a keep at this stage. They haven't even started this temple yet. Or at least they got like 2 or 3 shots.
Boss is still sitting at 50%. The Odin has just run out of its duration. So that, unfortunately, would no longer be able to help them. The Mule is here as well. They're going to get that gate, probably even a tower there as well. So yeah, good advancement. Good progress done by the A-Team. Alka still hasn't chosen his heroic ability, but it's probably going to be isolation. I can't see any world in which they would probably just, you know, give up on one of their most important lockdown tools.
Well, though, we see the position taken up by the A-Team, setting a trap to Haka is split, pushing while this is happening. Abathur now has ultimate evolution. This is where TeamNut, if they are able to find the right angle, can begin to try and make a comeback. They're already moving in. Ultimate Evo on Zeratul very quickly to Haka with a drag, and Olele is saved by the stay a while and lizard of Stugos. Absolute perfection, to quote Kel'Thuzad here.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, TeamNut is waiting for something. I just don't know what it is, because it's only going to get worse, right? That was probably one of the better chances for them to look for a fight. The enemies were kind of caught by surprise. They were kind of split, and also 13 hadn't been there for them. So, yeah, that was a good sleep by Stugos, basically keeping them at bay. But I fear that TeamNut is not really a team that excels at late game power spikes. Varian is actually quite weak in the late game, I feel. Rainer is okay, but they're not really going to have those big playmakers, I feel.
I mean, it's going to have to be like individual blow-up, one person after another. Unless they can get all the way to 16, then TeamNut, they don't have good AoE team fighting potential. As we do see them, once again, they're completely split, waiting for an isolation. I don't know if Nightmare showed himself there. I think he did. We'll see at least the Varian and probably the Shimmer from Zeratul retreating.
Yeah. Once again, kudos to the A-Team, by the way. They're always making sure that they're not easy targets to get picked off.
Evo in 1. Already back up. So they have the potential if they want to try again, but Zeratul going to at least spend some time in bot lane, cleaning up the Siege Giant camp. Tahaka is in top lane, cleaning up the Bruiser camp, so they're denying the value of the A-Team from those mercenary camps earlier, at least. But now, the A-Team, they're just grouped up in mid lane, and are looking to try and take down that instead.
Also super sick to see how Abathur's soaking has been keeping TeamNut in a relatively good spot in terms of overall XP, right? They're not tremendously behind like 2 or 3 levels. There goes the bunker that has been used early. That might be the opening window for Zeratul to drop a VP now.
He might, but they've already burned the Ultimate Evolution. I doubt they want to waste the duration like that. Silence onto the Hacker, and that will shut this down. I do like the Hacker's gone for the speed, like the attempt to try and catch someone so they can get the lockdown, but so far, this draft by TeamNut, it is unique, and I can see where it should gain value, but so far the opportunity has not presented itself. Silence, that should be a kill.
A lot of damage being absorbed by the shield wall, but yeah, Varian just can't tank through that anymore.
The escapes though, which is nice. Mercy getting some good cleaves there with the wormhole as well for extra damage. Mortal wounds now in for Varian though, so anti-healing, so whoever he does target is going to have a better chance of blowing up. But this is the idea behind this is there. The execution of it so far has been lackluster and shut down multiple times by the A-Team.
I mean, TeamNut, with this composition, they can't play for the macro. They need to pick people apart. Otherwise, they're just going to be kited. They're just going to be outsmarted. But if they find LK here, Bunker even has to be used. But there's no way Blaze is going to make it out to safety. What? No way.
Good silence. The counter-strike, and down goes Tahaka. LK survives. Mercy will actually survive. Rainer, Vorpal Blade VP. And yeah, they're not going to be able to get this, even though that was the closest they've come so far. Only Rainer and Abathur survive.
The moment, I think, like when they were chasing down Blaze, Zeratul should have actually been on his tippy toes and should have tried to use VP immediately when they saw reinforcements coming in. So that Blaze would have actually been the target they could kill after the bunker was expiring. Said he used it a little bit too late there. The chase was not the cleanest I've ever seen here from TeamNut, and it's safe to say that this exotic draft is extraordinary playstyle that they were trying to go for up to this point is just not working out. It's going to be another boss. The bottom temple hasn't even been touched yet, barely been touched by the A-Team as well. They're probably going to get this too after Blaze is done with the middle. Here we go.
They begin burning down another set of Siege Giants. Multiple levels of pressure coming in here. This is almost certainly going to be a keep from the A-Team unless TeamNut can put on a stellar defense. Once again, talent down. Dahaka's not here. Zeratul's not here. They kind of need to return, though, because this could turn into a core very quickly.
This is not the time to split push because they're already knocking on your front door here, the A-Team that is.
Rain is burning through the boss. Zeratul's porting. Dahaka is also porting. Everyone has returned. Rainer's dropped low, but he survives for the moment. That's a good delay tactic. Clone Rainer, not so lucky, able to actually survive as well. Dahaka burning down the boss, which has already started on the course. Sea-Shines and the Odin is popped. Here comes the Hyperion. Gonna try and get some extra damage to burn through this boss before this goes south.
The Mule.
Here's the Mule to try and delay, but Bruiser's already in position to snipe that when he can. Boss already about to die, but the core is down to half health as they begin trying to push through. Nightmare focusing onto Olele. VP on the core to buy them some time, but Bruiser is tanking through this. There's a counter strike. Huge damage. Mercy's able to dodge it though, focusing down onto Bruiser, but Olele is completely unattended, and that is GG. And the A-Team take game number 2.